Hi, this is Ted Kelly with another Ted's Hospitality Minute. Hey, today we're coming to you from the Marriott, should I say the JW Marriott Desert Ridge Resort and Spa. We are actually here at the Lodging Conference 2021, and I'm going to talk to my good friend, Steven Siegel, and he's going to tell us all about what he's learned this week. He's going to tell us how great things are going to be for the rest of 2021 and into 2022, and all the good stuff that he's going to share with us. Hey, Steven, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing well, man. How do you like the weather?
Love the weather. I will tell you, it's nothing like Phoenix in September.
That's right. Still a little steamy out here for us guys on the East Coast, but I'll take 82 and some beautiful golf landings any day, right?
Absolutely.
But Steven, tell us a little bit about you real quick and HCPM and how you guys got started. I know you've been in the business for a while. You know, we worked together previously on different projects. I love working with you. Tell us a little bit about you and how HCPM came into existence.
Yeah. So what we do is we're third-party project managers, owners, reps, specifically in the lodging space. Been doing this for more years than I can count. So you can tell by my gray hair, like Ted's gray hair. Right. But yeah, so, my background started, literally just almost 3 or 4 years out of college. I have a bachelor's and master's degree from construction management. Worked for a contractor who was building hotels, then flipped over to the ownership side, and then, developing hotels. And then from there, we just branched out to our own, probably about almost 20 years ago or so.
Right.
Yeah, it's been a successful run. And what we do is we help owners who are looking to build, renovate, develop hotels across the country, and help them with anything from selecting sites, due diligence, acquiring properties, selecting the design team, the procurement teams, the contractors, all the way through the completion of getting the work completed and getting, if it's a branded property, getting brand approval, and on to the next one. So.
And that's how it goes, right? So tell me something. Here at the conference, we've been here, what, 3-4 days? Tell me 2-3 things that you learned that you didn't know before you got here.
2 or 3 things I learned. Well, I will tell you is the good thing is that I'm not the only one who had a rough haul through COVID, which is great. A lot of other people are in the same boat, and we're all here because we survived it. Right.
Right.
That's one. Everybody is feels that the brands have been pretty lax in helping ownerships, understanding that the challenge that they faced during that period, which was great to hear that everybody was working together to get through it. And the third thing, that everybody's upbeat. Everybody feels that they're starting to see the turnaround. The leisure market is picking up. And everybody feels that the business traveler and the conference traveler will follow shortly. So it's a good outcome.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely spot on. I think that was at least a couple of things that I picked up on was that the full recovery is still a little ways out, and it is going to be key to have that business traveler back on the airplane, back in the hotel, probably on that Sunday through Thursday night schedule. One of the things that I found, and I listened to the presentation, I want to say by the JP Powers folks, and they were talking about the surveys that they were getting from some of the guests that had been staying in the hotels, and it's amazing that how critical. And I don't know, for some reason I may have left this kind of laxed off my radar, but it's amazing to me how high the marks were for a TV that allowed folks to come in and play their own Netflix and other media stuff. I did not think that ranked, I want to say that's like 8 or 9 on the scale from 1 to 10. I did not think that would be that high, but of course the COVID and the proper precautions and stuff like that was very high on their scale as well. But I just thought that was so interesting because I just thought, yeah, you're used to having flat panels now, but I didn't think it was that big a deal, but it is a big deal. So uh, interesting note there. But I agree again that I think a lot of folks are just happy to see faces again. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
yeah, I think folks are just really to see their other friends in hospitality who they hadn't seen in over a year, back in a space talking about work that had to do with the hotels and stuff like that. I think that was the one overwhelming factor that I saw in people as they greeted each other and stuff like that, is that it looked like, it's like, man, these guys have really been missing each other's, you know. So, but what do you think the rest of 2021 is going to look like for us?
Yeah, I will tell you, it's promising. I don't know if the actual construction will start yet, but I will tell you is the design is starting to pick up. We've
Right,
actually, in the last week, we've been blessed. We've actually picked up 3 new projects in the last week. And in talking to the ownerships that had their pencils down, right at March of 20, said, hey guys, we're dusting it off. We're seeing, people looking to stay at hotels again. We're going to go ahead and release some capital to start the process. So,
right.
definitely promising. Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be a labor crunch on the side of having available trades and general contractors to do the work next year?
I will tell you, I think it might be a bit challenging, but the ownerships that start moving quickly, I think they'll be able to be able to get ahead of that curve. So it's
Yeah,
going to be something. The biggest challenge right now is still the FF&E, trying to get it back together. Too much pent up demand and product not being able to produce fast enough, and then still challenges on the other side of the world with COVID. Right? There's some countries still shut down. So production is not there yet, and then the containers, getting it overseas, because just again so much pent up demand for product. So, and not only in our
yeah,
space, you got all the other spaces too, people waiting for material. So
right, right, right. So we're going to be able to figure out what's going on with the shipping costs then, because some of the ship, some of the shipping cost numbers that I'm seeing on some of these projects for the procurement FF&E side, the shipping cost is almost as much as the product. I mean, I'm just bewildered by that.
yeah, so that means bring it back home, back to the US, right? Pay a
Yeah,
little bit more, but you won't be paying for those containers. So
yeah, yeah. That, I think that's a great point. And you know what? One other interesting comment that I heard during the session was that the guy said, we have a labor shortage here in America. Can't find people to work. But then he said, we've got so many people sitting at the border that want to come here that want to work. So how
yeah,
about that? Does that
that's very
solve
true.
the problem? It's like we're paying $25 now to get people to work in a restaurant. I mean, it is a thought, to figure out how to balance out that scale, because once folks start realizing that, oh, there's folks getting those jobs and they're not having to require it, it does make for an interesting scenario to play out.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah. So I mean, think about that. Think about immigration, right? And think about, like my ancestors or your ancestors that we came over. Those were the guys who were
Right.
out, hardworking, swinging hammers, sewing, whatever they had to do to make a living,
Yeah.
right? And then as we get older and we start getting educated, and unfortunately, we're not the ones that want to do that labor, right? And that's what happens. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right there. So let me ask this one question. Do you think we'll be back probably full recovery in 2023? I'm predicting it's going to be around 2023, 2024. But what are your thoughts?
I agree with you there. I think the end of 2023, 2024 will definitely be in full swing again. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's still going to be a little ways. I think there's going to be probably a little push on getting folks to do a lot of bidding and put together the packages and be ready to pull the trigger. But I still think that the full, and I won't say 2019 comparison, but I think to get back to somewhere in that 2019, it's going to be a few months, a year out at
Yeah.
least to get it back where it should be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 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 yeah. So what else do you have on your plate for the rest of the conference? You guys still busy meeting a lot of folks? Has it been successful? Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, it's been great. We met a lot of folks. Everybody. I tell you, everybody's so hyped up. I
Yeah,
hope it just doesn't cool down, right? So, a lot of people that we met, a lot of possible opportunities out there. I think we've met some good ownership, some good contractors, some procurement teams, and just learned a little bit more of some other different vendors out here that not necessarily in our space, but
Right.
learning different opportunities that they have out there. We met one guy who has some product out there that they can literally walk through a building, and kind of like it's kind of like a virtual punch, I'll call it. So it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. And I see a lot of people asking for not so much the full PIP type stuff, but they're also asking for things like assessments so they at least kind of have a sense for, where they need to direct those dollars when they decide to start releasing them.
Yep.
Because of the shortage in labor demand, there's a lot of building engineer operational people that obviously they don't have, that they need some type of staffing or at least temporary staffing to help, kind of maintain their building at least in some type of operational order while they're waiting for things to get back on track. But I think, again, overall, I think from a conference standpoint, it was great to see folks. It was great to see people out trying to, market and sell their services and find out who's got some opportunities coming up, and what the timing is. So, but yeah, I think it's great, and I think Phoenix weather was definitely worth it. And hey, just think about that. We actually played the golf tournament and actually won for a change. So that doesn't happen a lot. So I can tell you that it's been a good trip.
There you go, another win. Right.
All right. So Stephen, tell folks how they can find you if they want to try to talk to you about helping them with some of their hotel work.
Yeah, so obviously it's our name of our company again is H-CPM, Hospitality CPM. Go online, it's www.h-cpm.com, or you can reach me on my cell. Best way to get a hold of me always is my cell, almost 24/7. And the phone it's 201-978-1433, and myself or one of my team will get back to you.
Oh, that is so awesome. And again, we're live at the Lodging Conference 2021 at the JW Marriott in Phoenix, Arizona. It's been a great trip, a great conference, and we're looking forward to next year. And I've had my great friend, Steven Siegel here, and it's been a good time. So this has been another Ted's Hospitality Minute. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys have a great week.